What's going on, everyone? So, yesterday was a huge moment for the Los Angeles Lakers. Obviously, winning a game, right? Lakers are now one away from clinching the 3 seed. So, that is massive. But in my opinion, what might be even bigger for the Lakers is the fact that we saw Luka finally get closure, finally be able to move past the trade. It was a very emotional moment, right? You really feel for the guy, man. First off, you do not trade a guy like Luka. You just don't. It's inexcusable. It's ridiculous, right? They can try to justify and spin it any way possible. Luka was loyal. He loved that team. You could see it. You could see the hurt in that moment when they're doing the tribute video and all that stuff. You can see how painful it was for him. The realization of just now I got to go and bust them up. Right, and he did, right? Dropped 45, shot, and he did 45 on efficiency too. But, it's still crazy, right? Like, you have to, do the whole, oh, nope, Luka's a Laker, right? You still have this, sense of, you're going to wake up and it was all a dream because, again, you don't trade guys like him. And the fact that the Dallas Mavericks did, and to the Lakers nonetheless, right? Man, Lakers always get their guy. It's because you have people like Nico Harrison in the world, right? What needs to happen? Luka wins 5 or 6 championships, right? He gets a statue. He has the statue and he's pointing. And then you have Nico over there that's and it's the trophy between the two of them. That's what needs to happen, right? We need to have something like that. But nonetheless, right? I do think that this was really good for Luka. Obviously, Luka played Dallas already, right? But it's not the same thing as playing them in Dallas. It's not just the teammate stuff like that, right? It's going into that stadium that you built these memories, that you built this relationship with, right? And, he's had his struggles and he's trying to get back. He's been better recently, right? He's starting to look like Luka. But, he's had his inconsistencies earlier with the Lakers. And now early on, it's just you could see kind of just the struggles and the pain and stuff. And even when he first came to the Lakers, it was so many people try to pretend oh, well, it's because he doesn't want to be Laker. Nothing to do with that. He would have been that way no matter who you traded him to. Why? Because he didn't want to get traded. He wanted to retire a Mav. He wanted to, hoist another Larry O'Brien and a banner for Dallas, right? That was his intentions. Right. And the fans rallied behind him, which was great to see. Right. Because, again, it's not his fault. He didn't choose to get traded. He didn't request a trade. He didn't want to get traded. Right. One of the reasons they didn't want to tell anybody was because they didn't want him or Anthony Davis or anybody messing it up. Right. So they kept it hush hush. They kept it under wraps. So, it was great to see kind of Dallas continue to embrace him. Right. And, I think it was expected. I think it was pretty, I think everybody kind of knew hey, Dallas is going to embrace him. It's going to be a great moment for him. But this is so important, particularly right before the playoffs, right? Because, you got that moment, you got that experience, you got that scenario that was so impactful, so emotional, had so many layers to it beyond the game of basketball, right? That is going to be the hardest, toughest, most emotional, intense game he will ever play. Right? NBA Finals, all of that. At the end of the day, for a guy like him, it's the game. Right? He's been in those moments. He was winning EuroLeague championships in the second best league in the world, right? At 13. Him winning the average game, the playoff game, the even winning an NBA championship. Don't get me wrong. I'm sure he's going to love it. I'm sure it's going to be emotional. I'm sure that there's going to be a lot of factors that go into it, without a doubt. But he'll never play a game like that Dallas game. That was just again, not the intensity in the sense of a playoff. I'm talking about just the raw emotion. To go from literally balling on the bench, which is completely understandable, right? Justified. Right? Most people probably would have picked up a chair and slammed it or something, right? And just to see him be so impacted and so affected by it, I do think that this game was very powerful for him. I think this was a game that really is going to help him kind of move forward. I mean, he even said himself, it's time to move on, right? It's time to get past it. And I think that this was the ultimate moment to get past it, right? Like, because, I mean, in my opinion, worst thing that could happen was like a playoff game or something like that, right? Like, to have it in a game where you have the fans rallying behind you, the fans are on your side, everyone's on your side, right? Like, it was basically a home game. You're familiar with the courts, you're comfortable in that arena, comfortable in those courts, right? Dealing with the emotions. Like I said, you were just crying on the sidelines, right? To now I have to go and I have to beat this team that many of these guys, we were brothers in arms, right? Like, many of these guys, we were just in the NBA finals together. Many of these guys I still care for and love. And, it's just, I never thought I'd be on the other side of that. Now, whoever thought that we would be using the words, Luka owns the Dallas Mavericks, right? Like, Luka is, Luka dominating the Mavs. It's something that players like him, you don't see. Unless he wants out. Unless he wants to leave. Unless there was any kind of inclination that he might leave in a year or two. But there wasn't. You see it by his actions. And then on top of everything, you drag that man through the mud for like 2 months. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. But again, I think this was such a powerful game, such a powerful moment for Luka to finally get that closure. Finally get that, kind of get that monkey off the back, right? Like, and just be able to move forward, press on, press forward, not have to worry about it anymore. Not have that hanging over your head anymore. Yeah, there's always going to be the like, oh, remember 5 years ago when Dallas traded Luka, and now they're playing Dallas again, and Luka is whatever 12-0 against Dallas in this fifth meeting, whatever it is, right? Like, that is obviously going to be a thing, but it's not going to be as significant as this moment. I think this is really big for him. Very few players in the history of the league have had a moment like that. A lot of players have had moments where, they left a team or got traded or whatever. But when have we seen a guy that never had intentions of leaving, that thought that was his home, that thought he was retiring with that team for his... Again, I'm not saying that there hasn't been. Like DeMar DeRozan is... one that comes to mind where it's like he thought he was going to retire with the Raptors. The ownership is like, yeah, we're keeping, he's a Raptor for life. And then 2 weeks later, they're trading him, for Kawhi Leonard. But still, like it's just, I'm sure that there are other moments of players that didn't want to be traded, but to the level of Luka, a top 3 to 4 player in the league at worst. Like, it just doesn't happen. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion. Pass question to you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? How do you feel? What are your thoughts? What'd you make of that game? What'd you make of that moment? Were you happy? Were you impressed? Are we kind of mixed in the middle? However you feel. Either way, I'd love to hear it. So let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me not. So we enjoy these types of videos. Truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel. Hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.